Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the first match, final week, season 54. We begin in Kyber 2, towards the middle of it. We'll do a quick recap. We went 1 and 2 last week. I should have gone 2 and 1, but I was goofing off in the final match thinking I couldn't lose, and I ended up losing. We'll talk about it a little bit. Now, with the defense here, this opponent, my defense completely shut down. CLS, Gas failing to CLS, yes. Sidious failing, that's an interesting call. Then his SLKR with Cron falling to Padme. That's great. Jabba falling to Padme. He's going to have problems losing 2 GLs. Aphra taking down Jabba. His JML eventually beats up on JMK enough that he can clear it with Bow. And we got Telzine, all that. He's got CLS falling to Trooper Gideon. Wampa failing to Finn. Then Troopers, Bad Batch, Raddus, Ewoks all falling down to Finn. Like, he keeps taking soft counters to this thing, especially with it already preloaded, where he's still disrespecting the synergy and the quality of the kit here. This is why they're on defense even at this level. And then he eventually uses his Cadme to take it down. Round 2, this guy had insane mods. I could not mess with him. But my Malgus did stop him. It looks like he used Boss Nass. Raddus falling to Trench. And then my fleet did stop him. Had I been able to get through his front wall, I could have won this match. But maybe if I would have kept Malgus for offense. But a lot of my counters, because of the quality of his mods, just didn't work. Now this final opponent, we got plenty of holds here, where we got Bad Batch falling to Qui-Gon, Wampa falling to Zorii, and then my fleet did a bunch of work. But I thought he was going to get stuck because his roster was a little weak, so I just was doing testing. We tested everything, and that was a little reckless. So we're going to learn a lesson for today's match, because today we are going up against Tibia. He's already attacked me. We did get some holds, but there's not a ton of wiggle room, so we're not going to take any chances. We got to win this, and he's a high-quality opponent. This is a good bracket. So this is what we're looking at. Tibia, 8 GLs. Everybody in the bracket is 8 GLs. Amis, I am tied for first with one other guy. My opponent's somewhere in the middle at 26. The Zeta count is good on almost everybody in that 250 plus range. Just kind of gives you an idea of the age of the count. Relics on my opponent are solid. I am, of course, always going to be the low one. And the relic distribution for my opponent is pretty good. This is very good, where he has a whole bunch of tier 8s, a bunch of tier 7s. Not the best of the bracket. There's a guy, is he on screen? Xerius? Yeah, he's on screen. That guy looks to be the guy who's going to win the bracket, if he plays. That's some crazy stuff. Mod quality, I am around, I think, 4th on things. Like, my opponent is closer to first or second. I think my opponent might be first. Yeah, my opponent probably has the best mods in the bracket. Datacrons, also taking them very seriously, although I am the most serious Datacron person. This Ticket Recon's probably second most serious. We're looking at Relic 8s on all the GLs. Triple Omni Malgus, nothing on Iden. Starkiller modded well. You got Dash, Wampa, Savage, Treya. Every single person in the bracket has Aphra, which I think might be a first. Usually there's at least one person without. 300 speed, so we'll be looking for her when we look at the mods in particular. 2 players without Bo Delore, 1 player without a usable Malicos, nobody with Jar Jar. My opponent does have Cadme. I'm just easing myself into that. And then everybody with the Leviathan and Profundity, although 1 player with less than 7 stars on the Leviathan. Jump in here, getting a sense of the quality, which I imagine is good. The speed, we got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, yeah, exactly 43, because Zorii was at 299. I have done a recount because I was fixing some modding. I am at 42 characters, so he's got 1 more than me. God, this new art, if they just zoomed it in, because everybody's is at the shoulder profile, so they're zoomed out further than where they used to be. So it's a lot harder to differentiate. these characters at this scale. Like the Scion, I'm sure the art looks great if you zoom into it, but it's a lot of these detail gets so hard to distinguish. And there's all these really white highlights, and all the white highlights on the characters just kind of washes everything out, especially when you have these high beam lights on each of the relic brackets. The only thing that should matter there is legibility, and the legibility is gone. It's actually something I'm a little worried about with this match, is that I'm going to put a wrong character in a wrong team. It's going to make using presets so much more important. All right, he one-shot this. This is the weak wall, because what I'm hoping for is on the back wall, or on this lower wall, he uses up a solid counter. He took 2 attempts up against Lord Vader, back territory, 2 up against Trench. One of the big handicaps that I have is, since I don't have SLKR, I have a lot more problems against these JMK Padme teams. All right, my fleet does a ton of work, 2 holds with Malevolence and Leviathan, or 2 attempts. Now, what we got to deal with is Raddus. We have Trench, but not the Trench Cron, Dooku, which I think is going to be slightly easier. Then we're looking at Malgus and Kelleran. And then down below, he's got, this is stacked up. Here we have Leia, Third Sister, Lord Vader, and Rey. I think we'll start with Lord Vader. And I don't even think we have a preset for Mandalorians. I should make one. We'll jump in. Here's one of the things that drives me crazy, especially that they put all this effort to fix the art. Fix the art on Bo-Katan. The little face here, the little thumbnail, should be with the helmet. Or this one here needs to be without the helmet. They need to be in sync. And probably they should both be without the helmet, because we got the other one here and it's swapped. But in game, she's got the helmet on. You can't do that. Those are like minimal kind of syncing that you need to have between things. All right, what do we want? Do I want this? Yeah, let's go with that. We're just gonna get some sort of nice bulk Cron. I think I want some stats though. Maybe we'll grab this Luminara one for the stats. I don't think I used that with anybody else. I just grab a lot of level 9 Crons just for the off chance that we do use the character. And I figured good chance that we're gonna be adding relics to Luminara for the raid. So let's grab the Cron. Okay, what do we got? So we take the hit. Where's my audio? Yes, we'll be putting out a Datacron video probably after this one. I think I'll put this one up first. I got a lot of thoughts on this new Datacron site because CG made some changes, and we got to be paying attention to what CG just did. I think it is highly notable. Yeah, let's throw an armor shred. Okay, we basic. And yeah, I think we'll stay on Ninth Sister. Maybe I should have healed somebody. No, we're gonna have Bo is gonna dispel right now. The PC beta fix should help address that if I get into it. Should probably double check that I'm signed up and everything the way that I want to be and ought to be. Okay, where are we at? I'm gonna heal up Paz, but maybe I should say probably should. All right, let's hit Maul. Wish we had an AoE. Okay, where are we at? What? I brought in armor? I should have brought in BAM. Guess I wasn't paying attention. I was a little distracted, I guess, but I don't know, that distracted? Yeah, let's just do this. Let's get rid of everybody so that we can focus on what we need to focus on. Get the best car. Oh, I gotta switch screens. I'm still on the small screen. We'll do that after this battle. Okay. Yeah, this is a great counter, and I have a weak one. I have a Relic 7 Baudelaire. I know a lot of players have gone higher, and there's plenty of reason to take her up to Relic 8 for territory battles, and I will be doing some of these things, but it's nice to know that it's not mandatory, and you can still very successfully counter Lord Vader at Relic 7. And where are we at? Alright, here we go. Alright, I'll switch to the big screen. Alright, Leia, we're going to do Third Sister. Had to bring a lot of characters off of defense so that I can have maximum flexibility. I mean, these are the chess moves that you got to make when you have fewer GLs than your opponents. And I like it. I like the challenge of trying to figure out how we're going to beat somebody with better stuff. Alright, well, it is the 4th, so happy Independence Day, everybody. And, you know, at times like these, you think about the movie Independence Day. Alright, let's see. Drogon. And Roland Emmerich movies. Which are not very good, but always a ton of fun. Alright, let's hit Rex. I'm going to go with protection up, but maybe the AoE would have been the better way to go. Especially because the AoE would have dispelled. So we could go after Drogon. Let's do this AoE. Okay. We gotta take Drogon out. Alright, we're good. Little worried. We gotta cleanse. This'll help. Okay, we're good. Alright, so we're handling the easy stuff right now. We have made a change. I guess I didn't really highlight the change when we were clicking through the defense. I was a little more distracted by how he had performed up against my defense. Let's grab Jedi. There's a Mace Windu Cron that I've been using. I don't really think it does anything for this. I mean, we get a little bit of damage reflect, but I don't think it's added any consistency or anything to this. Alright. We dispel, AoE, hopefully we get some shocks, and we are gonna hit, let's hit Holdo right now. I don't want to hit L3, that's just all I don't want to do. We are definitely going to do this. Dispel. Okay, now we can go, no we can't. Yeah, let's try and stun. If we have to hit L3 anyway. L3 is being annoying. Alright. Well, we're stuck behind this taunt, and that's terrible. We're definitely going to get that Visas Cron. Let's try and stun again. Alright. Shocks. Good. Let's get the Inspired off. And then everybody else, I think we're fine with. Let's get some buffs. And they'll take that big hit. I'm going to save that. Okay. So this will be damage immunity on Holdo. We gotta get damage immunity over on Zorii. I'm getting a little concerned about time. Alright, damage immunity on Zorii. Swallow. There we go. Okay, good. Everybody has damage immunity now. Everybody has damage immunity now. Okay, let's keep with the AoE. Swallows down. Can we hit Ray? Perfect. That's 1. We're going to do this now just for the recovery. Even though we couldn't do any damage, we got to just make sure Ray doesn't hurt us. I was hoping we'd be able to do it while all this wasn't going on. And I think we made the right call with that. I'm gonna basic, not basic, I'm gonna do that. Alright, I should be able to take out Ray. Come. Okay. All right, there we go. Good. With that Visas Cron, I think that could have been... Well, Visas wouldn't have died, right? Because there's a savior component. We'll have to learn that Cron better. All right, so this is the change that we made. I have brought Malgus to offense to deal with this Cron. Because the Phoenix, with these opponents who have good modding, it's with the Gear 12 Phoenix that I'm rolling with, it's just not a reliable enough counter to even mess with. That's why that second match last week, we couldn't win. And I don't know if this is the best route, because we are taking Malik away from BANE in the event that there is a JMK on that back wall, but we gotta make sure we get through this. And Cron wise, what do we got? I think I want to ignore taunt, right? That seems like it would be useful. And I actually probably should have watched the video to make sure that I know what I'm doing, because this is the first time doing this, and we could easily do something wrong. Because the win percentage is actually not that great. It's like 80%. So we land Fear. Okay. Technically could go after somebody else, but... Yeah, let's leave Fear over on... Let's see if we can take out Third Sister. Although I would kind of... we're going to put this on Third Sister. This feels important. Okay, and we can ignore taunt now to take her out. I'm gonna basic. Alright, 7th is gone. Let's hit Grand Inquisitor now. I'm gonna stick with the basic. I just want to leave the Fear on 5th because he's gonna take a turn in a minute. Alright. Okay, that takes out Grand Inquisitor. We're going to hit 8th just because I feel like that's going to be easier and he does some damage. Okay, I wonder if the 80% results is more for like situations where people aren't using like this Cron to ignore taunt. Although I don't know how many times taunt was coming into play. But this has been very strong. I should have switched to this a long time ago. It's just I like to use the weakest possible thing. It's definitely one of my flaws as a player where I just, if I can use Phoenix, I'm going to use Phoenix. And it does get me into trouble instead of just overpowering my opponents. It's just, I get bored overpowering things. I like the challenge. Okay, where are we at? Now, hopefully there's no JMK on the back wall. If JMK is on the back wall, then we're going to have some trouble. Okay, where are we at? We'll auto in a minute. Because we got to take her out, what, 2 more times? Oops. Oh, we got auto. I didn't realize where the time was. Okay, so here's some thoughts. Yeah, I mentioned Independence Day. So here's one of the things that I think about with that movie. My father, who has bad taste in movies, who likes everything, like with popcorn fare in particular, I have never heard him express a negative statement about a movie. He's always liked them. Except for Independence Day, where he brought his children to this movie and told his children, however old I was at the time, that the movie was kind of cheesy. And it is still the only time that I can remember him ever expressing an opinion like that. That's what that movie makes me think about. And down. Good. What surprises do you have for me? Are we in trouble or are we good? We got Cere Junda. We got Qui-Gon. We got Finn Zorii. And there is a Rose. What kind of level 6 Cron we got? And the right level 6 Cron. We got to be careful here. We can still beat it with Night Sisters, but it's not easy. Ki-Adi-Mundi, what do you got? Why don't I have this Cron? Because you know why? Because I got the Kelleran one and I didn't split up characters like he did. Interesting. I didn't think about that. All right, we're going to check the top wall because I don't remember what's there anymore. All right, we got Malgus, Trench, and Kelleran, and Raddus. Okay, I got to plan this out. All right, I think I've got a plan. The plan right now... Actually, I could potentially do Gungans here, and we might want to goof off and do that. So let's save that one. Let's just start up top. This is Phoenix. This is easy. Traya would also be an option, but we're not. And I don't need to use Geos for this one, so let's not get more of a turn meter train. Acolyte, I'm not going to go into you know what? I don't think we did it in the last episode. Maybe we will talk about the last 2 episodes of Acolyte. We'll start with episode 6, where I'm going to say that could have been an email. That episode didn't need to exist, and it's very frustrating because it's a big emotional letdown after how good the previous episode was. It was basically a setup episode for whatever is going to come next that's going to be more important. It could have been 5 minutes. It could have been 2 scenes, whatever. Nothing that happened was important enough to warrant a full episode, and that's a little frustrating when you get those emotional highs of the previous episode. It's just really poor planning. It's a perplexing decision. Now, we will get a little spoilery for episode 5, the awesome episode, if you haven't watched that. I imagine most people who are interested have, but keep that in mind for what I'm about to say. Because there were some very impressive things from a writing and directing standpoint that I want to highlight. Because I just loved it. Because what they do is you take, what's her name, Jackie? So you take Jackie and you take Yord, and you have the first scene with Yord, where he gets cut in the leg and falls down, and he's about to be taken out, but Osha interrupts the stranger, and Yord gets saved. So you feel like he's got plot armor. He's protected. Things are going to happen to keep your main characters alive. Then it switches over to Jackie. Jackie is arresting May, and in that situation, you have her sense the Sith Lord. She grabs a saber. During that battle, she hits the cortosis, but she has Kelnaka's saber, so she pulls it out and blocks. There's another instance of plot armor. You have those things kind of happening throughout the episode, where you feel protected, you feel okay, these characters are going to make it through. And then after multiple instances where you have these characters save, you have Jackie knock the helmet off, and then pop, 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 she's taken out. They had set it up so expertly where you had all these NPC characters you didn't care about. You're like, okay, they're going to die, who cares who they are? The main characters are going to be fine. And they feed into that by creating moment after moment after moment where Yord and Jackie get by. You're like, okay, they're going to survive. They're going to survive. They're going to survive. And then he takes them both out. That is smart. You don't see things like that too much where they're playing with the audience expectations that these characters are going to be eliminated. I was really happy about it. All right, what are we doing here? We're going to do Sith Eternal Emperor. We're going to grab Trooper, and we're going to have to grab a Cron of some sort. Let's grab... I'm a little concerned. I need to beef some of this stuff up. But we're going to go in like this. Let's not accidentally grab a BANE Cron like I did in Territory Battles, or any of those. Let's just grab this. We don't have great Sith Crons, I guess. Alright. We'll link. And link. And we get to countering. So we go from a very well-written and very well-directed previous episode to the kind of messy, not even messy, just poorly thought out episode where nothing happens. Okay. Let's relink these characters and link Cere Junda. Alt. And blow them up. Okay. Yeah, let's go after somebody who's a little bit more of a threat and an issue. I'm not even going to bother with the link because we're going to just... Yeah, maybe we will. And we realize we were that close to another big attack. What's that ability even called? I don't know the kits of GLs nearly as well as I know other characters. And it's shown in a number of battles. What is this called? Power, unlimited power. Alright. It's because I take so long to unlock them. Or at least historically I did. With these new ones, we don't do that anymore. We go after GLs right away now because CG's completely changed the game. We got videos talking about that. Alright, do I want to risk anything with Zorii? Or do I want to just overpower it? I'm going to check to see how my Aphra is going to do here. Aphra has a good win rate against this, except when I did it before, I lost. Now that may have been a modding issue, because I have a pretty good Aphra team. Now, we're going to grab these guys. Question here, though. I wonder, I got to remember what these Zetas do, because there's target lock synergy with both IG-88 and with target locked can't recover health and protection. Okay. Or there's the probe droid where I think this can't get buffs. right? Can't gain buffs. I think I want that. But the mods here, I have no idea what my mods are on my probe droid. It's actually something I should make a note about and double check. I think we're going to bring probe droid, because stopping buffs here I think would be a lot more valuable. I needed more ignore taunt, but I didn't have enough reroll mats. Let me just grab this Cron. I'm going to grab this for the stats. Okay. So there's a few changes since the last time I tried this. One, my mods are much better on this squad. And I took BT1 up to Relic 8. And it looks like we need to attack Finn, get him below health. Okay. Overthinking this. I think it's just because like I had some bad mods on a character, or I wasn't managing that I think I just got tripped up by the Cron, because it was early in the Cron period. It was a couple months ago. And normally I just do Night Sisters because it's more fun. But this is the match for it. I think I could do Sidious here. Will this mess up Sidious? I think that could mess up Sidious. I don't know about that. All right, let's look at this for a moment. Well, actually, no, because he has Old Ben here. He's going to mess up Jedi Council, which means he's losing what? He's losing the extra speed, the health, and offense. Okay, let's head up, because I can't remember where I wanted to use Bane. Was it Bane Malgus? Yeah, I'm going to do Bane Malgus. Let's do that right now. So let's grab a body. Let's grab Maul, I guess. And Sith Cron. And I'm doing this because I need to use JML Jedi Knight Cal Kestis up against Kelleran. This is why I gotta plan things out, because normally I might almost by default do Cal Kestis here. And as I was planning things out and trying to strategize, I realized I didn't have a great option for this, for Kelleran. This was fine. But now we got a little bit extra flexibility. Now I can use JML here. This is one of the big changes I made to this season, where for the past 6 months I just stopped scouting my opponents, and it was fine for the most part. Where like we climbed up to Kyber 1, like we were doing great. But as soon as the Crons change, what do I want to do here? I guess Jolie. I feel like I'm forgetting what I would normally do if I could actually understand these pictures. Yeah, let's not do that. That would be a mistake. Do I want Shakti? No, I'm just going to take Kyle Katarn, because the rest I'm going to save for other things. Yeah, but then last season was rough. It was my worst season probably in years. So I needed to make an adjustment. All right, let's clear the foresight. I'm probably going to be most annoyed with Yoda, so we're going to hit Yoda. And then who's second most annoying? Probably Barriss. Barriss is pretty annoying. Let's take out Shakti. She's pretty annoying. Okay. There we hit our alt, we can just auto. Yeah. Okay, so you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the new Hellboy movie that I had no idea was coming out. The trailer came out this past week. I was shocked. Mike Mignola, the creator, wrote it, which is very exciting. That's a change. here's how I feel about the other Hellboy movies. One, Ron Perlman, fantastic Hellboy. Fantastic. The movies, not so fantastic. I don't really like them. Even though the second one is better. I think, what is it, Golden Army? It's also kind of dumb. It's just Guillermo del Toro is just visually an interesting director, I think. Both that movie, Hellboy 2 and Blade 2, Guillermo del Toro made, and I feel like people treat them like they are far better than they are. They're interesting. I don't think I need to maybe rewatch them. It's been a decade, but that was my feeling about them. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to try out Gungans. I saw this in the history, and I want to try it out. It looked like it was very successful. We got a Boss Nass Cron. We're ready to go. He's got a Dooku, not a Trench Cron. Let's try it out. And then you have the David Harbour Hellboy, which that one was very disappointing because from a Hellboy fan standpoint, like if you've read the comics and stuff, it is I don't want to say member berries because it's not really member berries for something that there really isn't a lot of nostalgia about. But it is who do I want to take out? What does this Cron do again? Alright, we're gonna hit Dooku. Can I stun? Did that say immune to stun? No. Alright, that's fine. Call target versus what? Stun. Let's go this. Why can't I swap to boss? Fine. Alright, down. We should probably take out Watt before he brings Dooku back. These attacks are not what I want. Charge up again. Good. Shield up. Yeah. We're getting some strong countering response with this squad and Cron to trench. Yeah, anyway, so the David Harbour Hellboy movie, like there's so much from the comics in those movies. Like, they've got what? Is Iron Shoes in there? There's the corpse. There's a ton of this stuff from the corpse. There's a lot of stuff with the Baba Yaga. There's a lot of things going on that are like, okay, comics. And the movie's terrible. It's something that I talk about. It's actually one of my issues that I have with Rogue One. Where Rogue One is... I think... I have a semi-controversial opinion about Rogue One. It's that it's... We probably should hit auto. The movie's saved by how good the ending is. The first half of the movie is just a complete mess. And it's got interesting characters, interesting stuff, but the end of the movie is fantastic. But I think it's a mediocre movie with a great ending. And part of the reason I think it's weak in the first half is you have passive characters. You have them constantly reacting to what is going on. They're not making active choices. They're not doing anything for themselves. It's, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and that's bad storytelling. And that's what the Hellboy... what is it even called? Is it just called... Whatever. The David Harbour Hellboy, that's how that movie is. He doesn't make one single decision in the entire movie. It's just like, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. And it's exhausting. And it has so many great things. Like, it's got Lobster Johnson. It's got Sandman. Thomas Hayden Church as Lobster Johnson. And that's fantastic. And I never thought I'd get to see Lobster Johnson in a movie. And to be able to see that kind of stuff, you would think it would be fantastic. It's got Mila Jovovich, but being used in a way that is completely boring and uninteresting, and the movie just falls apart. So I feel like we might have a chance that there's actually a good Hellboy movie. And I've been reading Hellboy a long time. That is one of my more thorough collections of comics. Like, I was reading Hellboy probably 8 years before the movie came out. Because, like, for me, like, I would follow... I in the 90s, comics were terrible. Like, really bad. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to just do Jedi Knight Revan? I'm a little scared with the Cron. Alright, let's think for a moment. Alright, we're gonna grab Shakti. That's why I kept her. Why isn't Anakin on a team? Why isn't he with my Kelleran? That feels like a mistake. Alright, let's give this a moment and then we'll finish story time. Alright, we gotta be careful here. We're gonna target anybody else. So we're gonna swap. We are going to... I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing to trigger it if we needed to. Okay, there we go. But we got to make sure we get our turn. Okay. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to do a basic or anything. We're just going to do that and make sure we get it done. Oh my god. I thought... I mean, we're fine because we got lucky, but I thought we had another turn. Yeah, let's do this. Swap back over to here. Dispel. We got to do another... you know what? Let's call her to assist for the dispel. We got to get to a mark. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're good. Disasters averted. Okay, what was I saying? I was talking about the Hellboy comics. Yeah, so in the 90s, comics were terrible. It's when you get like Bane and Venom, which are fine. Those characters work. But then you get the copycats like Doomsday and stuff where like, okay, we're going to do these big brutes as villains, and they got just really dumb and boring. It's where like Bane and stuff, that was good when the characters first came out, because Bane was like super smart. That was his thing. He was like, yes, he was big and strong and swole, but he was smart. That's what made him a threat. And then he just became like the same kind of like brute guy as other characters. And that was basically the lesson the 90s comics learned, was we're going to make every character big and strong, and it just made for really boring stuff for a decade. And so, instead of reading like DC and Marvel during that time period, I instead got into Dark Horse comics. Dark Horse comics were awesome. The art was great. The ideas were great. The characters were great. The stories were great. And that's when, like, I was grabbing Art Adams stuff. I was reading Monkey Man and O'Brien. I loved it. And I wanted to read more of it. So I found out that they had a storyline in a Hellboy comic, Seed of Destruction. They were like a story at the back of the comic for 4 issues. So I picked up Hellboy. And then I read those comics, and then I loved Hellboy. I loved the art in Hellboy. I loved everything about it. So I started buying everything I could for Hellboy. And then they made the movie. I was super excited. And it was fine. I liked it enough. So, this new movie, R-rated, horror, written by the creator, the potential here is just very exciting to me. Alright, we got a basic. Feed the turn meter. Let's bring out the defender. We shall stun. Dispel. See if we get lucky. I haven't gotten lucky in a long time. I feel like people have like fixed their mods or something. Because that has not taken out a Sith fighter in months. But maybe we can, well, let's just do it. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Looks like they don't want to go after my foresight and marked friend here. You know what? Let's hit Malgus because we're gonna blow up the what's it in a minute. Don't die on me. No! That's frustrating. That might mean we need to clean up. Alright. We might be okay, but I'm pretty worried now. Because he's going to bring out the Mark 6 in a moment. And it's going to take out something good. What are you going to blow up? Dang it. And he heals. Yeah. No, we're going to clean it up. Not a huge deal. We made plenty of progress, but that would have been a win had we not lost the defender. Alright, what do we got left? Finalizer and Malevolence. And it looks like a pretty weak Malevolence. So let's throw the Profundity up against the Finalizer. Because we saw Gear 12 was on Sunfac. We're still going to bring a good counter up against it. It's just, we know now that we don't, that my Negotiator is going to be more than enough. And this Finalizer probably deserved a little bit more respect. Because we know he has relics on all these pilots. We would probably have been safe in any way we would have chose to play it, though. I do feel like the Finalizer and the Malevolence, they both need another ship to boost these things. They're just... Maybe I only feel that way about the Finalizer because I don't have relics on my pilots. Maybe I'd feel differently about it. I don't know that I would, though. It's not like I have any trouble with it. It just feels like it needs to be an offense-only fleet. And I don't think the Ebon Hawk is doing anything here. Alright, now Negotiator. Always grab empty slots. I won a match on empty slots in fleet. I was losing. I was behind. And I made up like 50 banners. in that match. Like, I took way more attempts. My opponent filled out his fleet, and that made a massive difference. Kind of always want to... Oh, I probably should not have gone after him. Let's get rid of the crit hit. Okay. Plow to get rid of the buzz droids. Let's grab the turn meter. Still haven't done the new raid yet. We're probably, I don't know, 2 days from doing that. Because we had a raid going at the time that wrapped up yesterday. Which I'm fine with. I'd rather not delay the Mark III. Let's blow it up. Okay. Let us... I don't know. Ahsoka? Boom. Yeah, well, we've won this. Let's use Finalizer. Even at Gear 12, my Finalizer will do a decent job here. Alright, looks like we can probably take out the shuttle quick. That's where we're going to start. I'm going to Dispel. Okay. Stun. No, dodge. Alright, that takes care of him. And now the slow work of getting through... Oh, I didn't notice the days. I always forget about that. All right. All right, this ought to do it. Alright, that was a good run. Strong holiday performance. This is why I didn't do it last night. I almost played this match last night, but I knew I was getting tired and I might do something dumb. But well played by Tibia. He did not have too much trouble, but just enough. My defense did just enough to make sure we could get this one. We'll see how the rest of this week goes. And we'll wrap it up there. We got a lot of talk videos that have been coming out. I'll put both of them here. I think we'll do the road ahead and maybe a raid-related one or a GL-related one. And we have a Datacron video that'll come out. I think I'm posting this one first. Why not? It's a good one for the holidays. Datacron one's not a good one for the holidays. But thank you for watching BX and to each other, everybody. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.